If the end of the 2024-25 network TV season and the beginning of the 2025-26 season is any indication, it's past time for network TV shows to reconsider how they handle character deaths. Historically, network TV shows, in particular, network procedurals, have not done a great job of handling character deaths with grace and reverence. Procedurals usually around large ensemble casts, and large casts come with turnover. The character carousel is partly due to the fast-paced nature of network TV. New plot lines and stories are constantly being introduced or coming to an end, with procedurals juggling episodic cases of the week with longer narrative and character arcs. The structure occasionally necessitates cast members being written out or characters killed to tie up narrative loose ends, shake up a stale story, or boost ratings. Just because it happens regularly, however, doesn't mean network TV has traditionally handled these exits well. If the past few seasons have shown us anything, it's that network television, especially procedural dramas, must evolve in how it navigates the aftermath of major character deaths. Modern audiences simply won't accept anything less now, nor should they. Network procedurals have traditionally handled character exits callously. Their fast-paced nature has meant network procedurals have too often written characters out in clunky and disrespectful ways. It's awkward when the character is still alive but written out of the show, and sudden departures are inelegant at the best of times. The explanation usually involves them suddenly moving to another state to be with a former love interest, or taking a job at another hospital or department. When it happens suddenly due to behind-the-scenes cast drama, such as Matlock's David Del Rio recently being fired for alleged sexual assault in the middle of season 2, it's even more awkward. The explanation for their absence feels unearned, as there is no prior narrative build-up to suggest that was even an option the character was considering. But at least there's an opportunity to one day bring the character back, if only for a cameo. Character deaths, however, are usually permanent. They're certainly more devastating, so one would think that procedurals would handle those deaths with an abundance of respect and nuance. Alas, they traditionally haven't. Often, characters dying won't get much more explanation than characters leaving, from being killed off-screen to all of one episode being dedicated to the aftermath before the show moves on. The reality is, network TV writers simply don't have the airtime to devote to saying goodbye to dead characters. It's the very nature of TV procedurals that they constantly look forward to the next case to solve, the next story, the next new character, the next romantic entanglement. It made sense when characters used to come and go. But that callous approach no longer serves modern audiences, and the past few seasons have proven as much. The end of the 2024-25 TV season saw several shocking character deaths that left fans outraged. Character deaths in network procedurals are hardly rare, they happen each season. However, it's less common that multiple TV shows will kill off major main characters in the same season, and beloved ones at that. That's exactly what happened in last year's 2024-25 network TV season, which saw multiple shocking character deaths, but none bigger than those of two firehouses who lost their leaders. In 911 Season 8, LAFD captain Bobby Nash, Peter Krause, was killed after he sacrificed himself to stop a deadly virus from contaminating Los Angeles, giving the only antidote they had on hand to his fellow firefighter and friend, Chimney, Kenneth Choi. Meanwhile, in the Fire Country Season 3 finale, Cal Fire Battalion Chief Vince Leone, Billy Burke, was killed when a burning building collapsed on him during the Zabel Ridge fire. Both deaths were not only genuinely devastating, but also significantly consequential to their respective shows. Bobby Nash and Vince Leone were arguably the souls of their series and easy fan favorites. They were not supporting characters, but main characters. Just about every storyline touched them in some way. It's hard for audiences to fathom how each show will move forward without being a shell of itself. Yet, the way each show has chosen to honor their deaths in the new season suggests that network TV is finally rethinking the way it approaches character deaths. The beginning of the 2025-26 season shows networks might finally be evolving in how they handle character deaths. In a departure from network television's traditional method of quickly moving on after death, both 911 Season 9 and Fire Country Season 4 are incorporating the deaths of their characters into a season-long story. The legacy of both men and the impact of their deaths will continue to reverberate long after their memorial services. Characters won't just be mildly sad for an episode or two and then move on as though their fallen comrades never existed. Instead, the exploration of grief and healing after a devastating loss will get more focus and have a longer tail. In other words, it will be a lot more like real life, where we don't just get to explain away death with a throwaway line and then soldier on with little introspection. It's a necessary evolution for network dramas. With some franchises now lasting decades, certain network TV characters have been around longer than some of their fans have been alive. Law & Order's beloved NYPD Captain Donald Cragen, Dan Florek, for example, had been part of the franchise since 1990, an astounding 35 years, before he was killed off in the Law & Order SVU Season 27 premiere this season. That is a lifetime for many franchise fans who, quite literally, have grown up with Cragen. Long-running network procedural mainstays are no longer characters who come and go after a few seasons. They are part of the fabric of their audience's lives, and their deaths warrant an appropriate measure of respect, not only for the characters, but for the audience. There's an abundance of evidence that suggests the brain processes fictional events in a similar manner to real-life experiences. Being engaged with a story or character activates the same neural pathways, via meredithlpc.com. Thus, when a beloved character dies, the grief feels similar to losing a loved one in real life. It may not be quite as intense, at least, not for most people, but it's still genuine grief following a real, tangible loss. That has to be treated as valid by network writers. It's no longer acceptable for major character deaths to quickly be put in the rearview. In doing so, network shows might find audiences coming back to them. Disposable, easily consumed content is all too easy to find these days. The stories that actually resonate and keep audiences coming back are the ones that center complex, well-written characters, and there are few scenarios that make for better character growth than death.